I'm Rabbi Yitzchok Schochet, Rabbi of the Mill Hill United Synagogue and Chairman of the Rabbinical Council of the United Synagogue. The question for this week is, why are we instructed to have dairy products on the festival of Shavuot? It's of course everybody's favorite moment when we can tuck into cheese blintzes, cheesecake, and every other imaginable gastronomic ordeal that is certainly wonderful for one's cholesterol. Why do we do this? One of the simple reasons given is because when the Jews returned from Sinai, they were now suddenly introduced to the laws of kosher. As such, the meat that they may have had from the previous day was rendered unkosher because it hadn't been ritually slaughtered in the prescribed way as they were now instructed to do at Sinai. In addition to which, the various vessels that they would have had up until that particular day would have also been rendered unkosher because there would have been plenty of mix of milk and meat. Again, it wasn't a prohibition for them up until that point. So as they return home from this unbelievable cosmic experience, they are hungry and they have to reflect on what they can immediately eat. They open their fridge, they know the meat is no good. They open their cupboards, they know their vessels, their dishes are no good. The first and immediate thing available to them, of course, is dairy, and we therefore eat dairy on this same day to commemorate that all-original event. Another reason given is because chalav, meaning milk in Hebrew, has the numerical value of 40 to signify the 40 days that Moses was up in heaven receiving the Torah at Sinai. Another curious reason is also because the Zohar, mysticism, tells us that 365 days of the year correspond to the 365 negative commandments that we find in the Torah. The commandment that corresponds with the day of Shavuot is the one in the Torah that tells us that you shall bring the first fruits of your land to the temple, which indeed is a mitzvah associated with the festival of Shavuot. And in that same verse it says, you shall not cook a kid in its mother's milk. So to commemorate this particular negative command, we make the point of eating dairy on Shavuot as well, followed a little while later by a meat meal to emphasize the fulfillment of this particular mitzvah. Finally, we're also told that Moses was hidden by his mother for 3 months, and considering that he was born on the 7th of Adar, that means he was taken out of concealment and put into that famous basket to coast on the river on the 6th of Sivan. And this was the time in which the daughter of Pharaoh actually found him, tried to nurse him, as tradition tells us, that he wasn't going to nurse from her or any of her maidservants, being that this was the mouth that was soon going to speak before God. And as such, she found his own mother and hired her to actually do the nursing. We celebrate or we mark this occasion by commemorating this whole beautiful miracle and how Pharaoh instructed all Jewish males to be thrown into the river, and yet that one Jewish male who was going to demonstrate future leadership was growing up right under his very own nose and being nursed by his very own mother.